So the UK Home Office announced 2 new immigration compliance crackdowns. So depending on how you see it, this can be good news for some persons. This can also be bad news. Hi beautiful people, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time here, my name is Stella. On this channel, I talk about my life here in the UK, what's happening around me, and I share information. I also do reaction videos on this channel. So if this content sounds like what you'll be interested in, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. Click on that notification bell to get notified whenever I post any new video. And for my returning subscribers, thank you guys for always coming back to watch my videos. Honestly, I really appreciate guys. So if you are in the UK or if you have been following this channel, you all know that there's always an update. I always say this, I feel like in the UK there's always update every single day, or there's something every week. There's new changes every week, and I feel like Canada is beginning to do the same because there's always an update. Yeah, so if you're planning to relocate, or if you're planning to move to the UK, or you're already in the UK, it's important to follow up this update. And you will always find this update on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, in so many social media platforms. So it's important to follow up this update so as for you to know what's happening in the country that you're in, or in the country you're planning to jabber. Anyways, few weeks back, for those of you current, you all know that the UK announced that they have issued 200 licenses to care companies. Like, people can recruit immigrants to come to the UK and work. 200 companies, yes, in this UK. Before you can sponsor workers from overseas, you must have that license. So for those of you that don't know, not all UK care home can sponsor, and not all UK care company can sponsor. You must have that license in order to sponsor. So like I said, UK government gave 200 companies license to sponsor. So after they published that news, so many article came up online saying that some of those companies are not qualified to sponsor people, that they've breached the rule. Some of them are even abusing staff in terms of like giving them low wages, and some of them the company or the care home have been reported to CQC have not met up to the CQC standard. So there were so many articles coming up online saying so many kind of negative things about some of that care company that were giving license to sponsor overseas worker. And that is when this particular UK Home Office announced new immigration compliances crackdown after all of that started circulating online. So here is the 2 major updates that was announced. So this is what it says on this article. It says, under growing pressure to tackle high net immigration figure, the Home Office has published plans to clamp down on visa abuse and exploitation to implement through amendment to the Employment Rights Bill, aimed at rogue employer, particularly within the care sector, but are likely to affect any UK employer with license to sponsor overseas workers. Guys, are you hearing this? It says, so what are the key changes? So like I said, it's 2. So number 1, it says a 2 years ban as a minimum from sponsoring overseas workers from business that repeatedly flout visa rules or commit serious employment breaches, such as not paying the national minimum wages. So like I said, the 200 companies that were issued license, some of them were facing this issue. Some of them have been reported that are paying less wages. So like I said, if you are being sponsored in this country, it doesn't matter whether you're working 50 hours in order to reach the threshold, 23,000, is it 23,200? I can't remember the exact threshold. But then it doesn't matter if you're working 50 hours, you should at least be paid minimum wage or above. But then some of these care companies or care homes are paying below minimum wage, which is not fair. So now if they pay below minimum wage and you're working like 50 or 60 hours, obviously you will reach that threshold. I don't know if you grab. So the UK government is saying that if any care company should sponsor you, they should at least pay you above minimum wage, or they should even pay you the minimum wage. I don't know if you guys grab. That's why I said this is like a good news. Kinda. Now, if you're in the UK and your employer is not paying you up to that minimum wage, obviously with this update they have no choice but to pay you at least either above minimum wage or at least even that minimum wage. I don't know if you guys grab. That's why I say somehow it's kind of good news, to be honest. And he went further saying there has always been a duty on sponsor to comply with immigration rules, wider employment law obligation, failing which they are at risk of sponsor license revocation from up to 12 months. In practice, action against sponsor for breaching non-immigration related rules is very rare. However, the government has repeatedly stated its intention to increase information sharing between the HMRC, DVW, and the Home Office. If this comes fruition, it is likely that the employment law relates compliance action will increase. So here is the number 2. It says extending the duration of action plans from 3 months to 12 months. These plans are issued to sponsor who commit minor visa breaches and whose license have consequently been downgraded from A rating to B rating, leaving them unable to sponsor any new workers until they have completed the specific compliance action. This might include improvements to the record keeping, increasing control of staff who assign certificate of sponsorship, or improving communication between different parts of the business. So for this particular one, you could hear that sometimes they will be like, oh, this particular company license is being suspended, so now they've extended, so it's no longer like 3 months, they'll extend it from 3 months to 12 months. So if a company license is being on suspension, just know that suspension is going to take a longer time, especially those people that are being A-rated before, and maybe they have 1 or 2 issues. From A rating they go down to B rating is also an issue. So somehow say this is kind of good news, because all these care homes that are behaving anyhow, or care agencies that are behaving anyhow, they'll be scared because they will not want any staff or any of their client to give them maybe like 3 or 4 stars. Nobody will want that. With this, I feel like some of these employers will be very, very careful, to be honest. I know somehow it might affect people coming in terms of like sponsoring people, because now they'll be very, very careful with what they are doing. But however, people that are already on sponsorship will at least benefit from this. Their worker will start treating them right. They will start doing what they are supposed to do. Some person in this UK are going through a lot, to be honest, with their employer, especially in that part of paying them less wage. You see somebody travel from here to a very far place, and the employer or like the care company is paying them less, and they are going to this work because they have no choice. They know that they just need to complete their work hour, or because they need money. They should at least be paid well. Do you understand? Anyways, it went further saying prohibiting employers from engaging in the unethical practice of charging skilled workers for the cost of sponsorship. There are already rules in place preventing employers from passing on the cost of the immigration skill charge to sponsor workers. So this particular one goes for people that are paying for their sponsorship. You see some persons, they will charge them 5,000, 10,000. This is just what they're trying to say. People are not supposed to pay for any sponsorship. You're not supposed to pay for anything. And I always say this in my videos. Personally, I didn't pay a dime. The only thing I paid was application fee, which if you go on government website, you see it. I think what I paid was around 200 and something pound, or 100. I can't even remember, to be honest. And that's because my employer even deducted it from my salary. I only do 3 nights, which is 37 hours every week. Well, as soon as I do that my 3 nights, that is my contract hour, and I get paid well, to be honest. So personally, I don't see this healthcare work as a very stressful thing, to be honest. But some persons will see it stressful because 1, you're being paid less wage. 2, maybe they're working in a care home where they have plenty clients. I've seen someone that's telling me that the care home where she works, they have 40 clients. Now, for me, I am a support worker, so where I work is like 6 clients, sometimes 4, sometimes even 3. It just depends, to be honest. So for me, I am not feeling that heat or feeling what people are going through. But then when some agency comes to my place of work, they'll be like, oh, there's nothing happening here, and they'll start gisting you what they are going through, the pressure, the suffering. Is sad and heartbreaking to hear, to be honest. So I feel like all of this will it might not stop it entirely, but it will reduce. It will just reduce. There's no way the UK government cannot handle all the whole workers. They can only do their best, but then again, it will reduce some of this. So I am just saying this in terms of people that are already in sponsorship that are going through a lot. I feel like it will reduce this time around. So it seems that those restrictions may not be extended to cover other costs incurred as part of the visa processes, including immigration health surcharge and visa application fee itself. It is currently completely legal to pass the 2 costs on the employer. So unethical, this is clearly neither a fair nor appropriate description of practice. Whilst it appears that government intention is to target unprincipled companies which pass on visa costs to workers at grossly inflated level, practically within the care sector. Anyways, there's a lot going on this article, but for me, I just don't want to keep talking to make this video to be too long. I feel like when it's too long, people will start finding it boring, to be honest. So to be honest, this might sound like a bad news for companies recruiting healthcare workers from abroad. It might sound like a bad news because it's kind of affecting their business. Oh, me that I'm paying this person so amount of money and I'm getting like good profit. Now with all of this, they'll have to start paying more. It might affect some companies in terms of them recruiting people from overseas, they'll be like, oh, if I'm sponsoring somebody from overseas, that means I have to pay them well, because some of them are just using immigrant workers, to be honest, for their own personal interest, making money. They're using them as money making machines. Some person might not feel that way because, oh, I'm going to work, I'm stealing some pounds. But then if you think deep and check out, you're supposed to be paid at least UK minimum wage. Imagine paying people less than UK minimum wage. It's heartbreaking, to be honest. So for me personally, I think it's a good news, to be honest, because it will make some of these employers change. For employers, they feel like it's bad because it will affect their business, because it's time for them to change, it's time for them to improve. So if you're watching this video, what do you think about all of this latest update? Like I said, for me, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest, because even though they are trying to cut down net immigration or net immigrant or whatever thing they are trying to cut down, somehow it's still good thing they are putting in place rules that will, help the healthcare workers that are on sponsorship. Well, I just feel the need to share this update with you guys. Like I said, I share all of this on this channel. So we've come to the end of today's video. If you find this video interesting and informative to watch, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share my videos. I'll see you guys in my next post. Bye guys.